We are talking all things the new Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Nirvana holiday collection today. Now, she dropped her preview of this collection today. It is coming soon, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this collection and share with you whether or not I will be picking it up. So before we get stuck into this, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. A couple of quick things. I'm sitting to the side so I can put the pictures right here. Secondly, I think Morgan Turner was probably the first person I saw do these really like quick little snap like shop or drop videos when like Pat or Natasha Denona releases new videos, new collections I'm trying to say, sorry. So I'm gonna link her channel down below for you guys in case you are interested in checking her out. And thirdly, this look is look number 1 for my upcoming Natasha Denona My Dream Palette 5 Looks 1 Palette video. So that'll be up next week, so stay tuned for that. I did just put the review of this entire My Dream collection from Natasha though up today, early this morning. We're getting a double video today, so lucky you guys. Okay, let's get into this. If you live under a rock or you are not on Instagram, either or maybe you just have missed it, we're busy, I get it. Pat McGrath has released what this year's holiday collection will be, and she has called it the Celestial Nirvana collection. Now, it's Pat. I'm excited regardless, right? Like, she dropped something, I'm like, hell yes, pretty much take my money. But I'm excited for a couple of reasons this year about this collection, but then also I do have thoughts and opinions on this collection. So let's get into it. So here's the picture right here of just the general collection, all of the products that are in it. Now, the thing that excites me the most about this collection is that there's so many products this year. So previous years, she's kind of released the Mothership Mega and then maybe a face palette, maybe a lip. But this year she's releasing 3 eyeshadow palettes, 2 kind of face palettes, a separate highlighter, a separate blush, 2 lipsticks, and then I think she's re-releasing that black eyeliner that was in Bridgerton 2 collection. And she's also got 3 colored mascaras in this collection. So I love that obviously her brand is growing and she's adding these products into these bigger collections. It's like she's releasing more products, and I love that she's expanding and giving us different things. So I'm very, very excited as a whole that it's kind of like there's a little bit of something for everyone in this holiday drop. Now, let's break this down, okay? Let's get into the biggest piece of this collection, which is the Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana palette. So it's filled with mattes, metallics, and metallic sparkles. I don't believe there would be any Pat McGrath Labs special shades in here. Could be wrong. It doesn't appear like we have a lot of information just yet, so we don't have the date that this will be available to purchase, and we don't have prices or anything like that yet. I'll keep an eye out and let you guys know when I see those, but I do recommend signing up for her newsletter if you haven't already, because you do get to shop the collection an hour before everyone else, and you get a 10% off code for when it launches. So it looks like this Mothership Mega is following a very similar format to last year's. This is last year's for reference. It looks like, I mean, I love this print that she's got. The pink print, I mean, firstly, pink is like my favorite color, so I'm well into this. And I love this kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of like Versace for some reason. I love the whole aesthetic of this palette. I really, really do. I do like, so this is last year's and she has kind of this gap here, which I think we were all a little bit like, why? So I do kind of like that she's removed that this year and made it a bit more condensed. It does still have the 18 shades that the Celestial Odyssey palette had, so this one also has 18 shades. So it looks like very similar. I believe this was 125 Australian dollars. Last year, so I imagine this will be quite similar. I could be wrong about that. It's been a very long time, so I can't remember what I paid. Okay, let's get into the color story of this palette, because this is where I have opinions. Now, I'm wondering, I haven't watched any videos or read any comments. I've been so busy. Today's actually my anniversary with my husband. We've been together 8 years, and we've been spending the morning together. So I haven't actually been online and really looked at comments or anything. So I don't really know how people are feeling about this. It looks to me like there's only 2 pinks. So I feel like people should be pretty happy with that. And these pinks look like they're different, like that kind of pink matte shade. I don't think we have anything like that in the like existing collection, the existing eyeshadow collection from her. There is 3 golds. So I'll be interested to see what they look like in person. Probably didn't need 3 golds. Could take it or leave it. There's also kind of like that champagne-y shade, which I don't know, we don't need anymore. Looks like there's a beautiful transition shade in here that's similar to the subliminal transition shade. I'm here for that. Yes, please. I like there's a dark brown because that's good for deepening eye looks up. So all of these things overall, that fine. You know, I'm sure there's probably a few shades in here that people are like, oh my God, this is like what you give us all the time. But playing devil's advocate here, I do think that you need some more of those wearable shades because overall this is a colorful palette. You need some wearable shades in there to kind of mix in for the everyday. You know, maybe one day you're not feeling like wearing color. You can make a more neutral look, or you want to make a more colorful look, more wearable, depending on your preference. So I kind of get that, and I'm into that, I'm into it. Now this has quite a few colors in it. So I know that quite a few people have been screaming out for Pat to give us color for quite some time. I feel like she's finally just gone, here, you want color? Here it is. How do I feel about this personally? I gotta be honest, the color story of this palette isn't getting me going. If I'm honest, it's not getting me going. And if I'm definitely picking this up. I really want to add nearly every eyeshadow palette that she releases to my collection. That's a me thing. This is my favorite brand. I love her. And I want to review it for you guys. But I have to be super honest. If I wasn't on YouTube, I probably wouldn't pick this up. I really probably wouldn't. And I know that sounds silly, well then don't pick it up at all, but honestly I will, because for me it is worthwhile for my channel and content. And I'm also very curious to see what this looks like in person. So my curiosity will win out. But those colors, or these colors, they don't really speak to me if I'm being completely honest with you. The colors are quite bold. And like, I guess not jewel toned, but for lack of a better word, jewel toned. And this is a very, very personal preference thing. I really need to caveat with this is a personal preference thing. And, you know, I could be very alone in this and that's totally fine because it's just a me thing, right? If I'm going to incorporate color into my makeup, I find these tones too bold for me on the everyday to incorporate in. I kind of like the more like Natasha Denona pastel palette, if you will, because that's, for me, is very like everyday friendly for color for me. However, I think if you have like a medium, well, first of all, if you just like color period, you're gonna love it. But I think that one of the brilliant things about this color selection is that it will span across all of the skin tones, which is really important because knowing Pat's like matte formula, you can really sheer it out and you can really, really build it up. So I think that that's a brilliant thing, is she's kind of created this colorful palette that will span across all those skin tones, which is amazing. I think the other thing that's throwing me off is the two purples, and it's because, you know, I love a smoky eggplanty purple, but outside of that, and like a lavender, but outside of that I really don't like purple, and like that deep purple is just not my vibe. It's really not. And I think, and you know what it is, it's that triangle of the two purples and that blue metallic. They're just not my vibes, mixed with two very yellow golds on the side. I think it's like, yeah, if I took them out of the palette, this would look a lot more appealing to me. But there's just a couple of tones in here that's just not like personally my vibe, you know what I mean? But I think overall, in terms of like, has she given us something unique to her brand and to our collection? Like if you're a Pat collector, you know, or you're just like a Pat lover and want to pick up as much as possible, you know, this is really different and it is going to add something really different to your collection. I did like, there is this picture right here though that I really appreciate, because she's actually really thought about the structure of this. Because when you look at this palette just like bam as the big palette, you're kind of a bit like, whoa, doesn't seem that cohesive, right? But then she's kind of broken it down into the anatomy of the palette, which I do super love and appreciate that she's done. So she's got the neutral kind of 6, which when you look at that neutral 6, like that's a me like 6 pan palette, is it not? And then she's got the cool tones with the blues and the purples, which, to be honest with you, if I could take away the two purples and that light blue, I would, but that's fine. And then she's got the warms, or the crimson fuchsia kind of section, and I'm guessing that's going to be more of your pinky kind of leaning shades, your warm tone, well obviously your warm tone shades, but you know. So I really like that she's broken the palette down into these kind of 6 pans, these 3/3, and helped the everyday makeup consumer out in terms of like, this is how you can get the most use ever out of this palette. Now you can obviously do what you like. Makeup is, it's world's your oyster, but I do think that this helps break people down, because when I look at this palette, even like for me, for example, like when I look at this palette as a whole, I do, even me, find it a bit like disjointed, but then when you see it broken down in the thirds, you're like, oh, I get it. I get how I can construct my looks now, and I get, like, I'm seeing the inspo. So overall, I think that the Mothership Mega is a good win. I really do. I'm interested to see it more so in person. I'm also interested to see how the formula of these shadows are, because some of these colors are a little bit more difficult to formulate, or a little bit difficult, or they're just, I just have had experiences in the past where these shadows haven't performed to a level that I would be expecting, not from Pat, but just the shades in general from other brands. So I'll be very interested to see how these perform on the eyes, because as you know, the Celestial Odyssey palette from last year, I really adored the quality of that, still do. These, on the other hand, for all my basic loving bees, put your hand up, put your hand up. I love these. I love these two eyeshadow palettes. I 100% will be picking these two palettes up. Are they unique? Do I probably own all of these shades? Yes, 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 yes. But I freaking adore these. This is my kind of a jam, especially that cool tone bottom one. Oof, that looks amazing. I'm actually so tempted to pick up the Vault just opened, and she released the 3 6-pan palettes. God, I can't speak today, I'm so sorry. She released the 3 6-pan palettes from Subliminal, Sublime, and Subversive, and I am so tempted to get that Subliminal one. It looks amazing, and I'm just like, oh, do I get it? Money, this collection's gonna cost me a lot, and that bottom one kind of almost looks like it, so maybe I might compare them, and maybe I don't need that other one. I mean, I don't need the other one anyway, but you know. Should I get the Subliminal Vault one? Let me know. Let me know. But these look amazing. And these would be such incredible gifts for people. Like, you could almost give these to almost anyone and they would get some use out of it. Like, I think these are incredible. It's a new formula. Oh, so these are the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palettes, 5-pan palettes with new formula. 100% will be picking up both of them. So Nude Allure, Warm Nude Bronze, Bronze Bliss, Cool Platinum Bronze. I'm picking up both of those. I cannot freaking wait. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. She nails it with this for me. I'm all over it. Now we have the face palettes. So these are the Divine Blush and Glow cheek palettes. So it's a mix of her best sellers and new shades. So the top one I think is Nude Venus, and the new shade is Divine Rose 3 and Sunset Nectar. And then the bottom one, I think I might have this run the wrong way, but I'm just reading it off trend mode, okay? Divine Rose, and the new shade is Desert Orchid 2, Nude Nectar, and Peony Rose. I want to have a look on the website. It looks like in that top one, maybe Electric Bloom is the 4th shade. I need to have a look at what shades are actually in each, but I'm thinking at the moment definitely the bottom one. That looks like my kind of a jam, and Desert Orchid is my all-time favorite shade of blush, so I want to see what Desert Orchid 2 is. That intrigues me. And also I think there's more, like Nude Nectar and Peony Rose is obviously like newer shades, so there's like 3 new shades in that bottom one, so I'll probably pick up the bottom one definitely, and maybe the top one, just depending. I love her blush formula. I think these are awesome, like really good to travel with. I don't super love that rectangle highlighter bit. If I'm being really picky about it, I would have just actually preferred just have the 4 blush kind of quad. I don't know, it just hurts my eyes to look at it. It really does. That's a very personal preference, me being picky. If I could take that away and just make it like 4 eyeshadows, I would. Yeah, I really don't like the rectangle highlighter. Just for me and the way my brain works, it hurts it. But overall, I think this beautiful packaging's great. I love that there's new shades. And yes, I'll be picking, if I can afford to pick up this entire collection, I probably will. Let's be real. But we'll see how we go. These ones I'm also excited about. This top one is the Sublime Skin Highlighter in Venetian Nude, a peach nude with silver sparkle. That looks beautiful. Like, look at that embossing. She's outdone herself with this collection. Like, that's impeccable. Is that not a work of art? But also it looks gorgeous. It actually looks like such a beautiful highlight. Yes, I want it to be mine. I want it to be mine. It looks absolutely beautiful. That's incredible. And then the bottom one is a new Divine blush shade in Nude Venus 2, which is a peach nude with satin pearl finish. And I think that that shade, Nude Venus 2, no, it's actually not in those blush and glow cheek palettes. I was just having a look to see if it was, but it's not. Okay, so that's also a new shade of blush. I kind of want that too. I don't need it. I don't need, you know, the quads or the face palettes as well as this. But look at the embossing. And it looks like such a beautiful shade. We'll have to see how we go on the day, but that is beautiful as well. Very, very beautiful. Probably the things that I'm least excited for are coming up now. So she's releasing 2 lipsticks as well. So this is her Matte Trans Formula, Nude Venus, which is like a nude coral, and Forbidden Love, which is a classic red. If I was gonna leave anything out of this collection, it would be the lipsticks. I don't need another red lipstick, and I really don't need another nude lipstick either. I do like the embossing and everything on it, but they just don't excite me as much as everything else. I've brought some really amazing lip products into my collection recently, and I just don't feel the need to add more. So if I can leave anything, it would be them. The only reason I would pick those up is because I got like a bundle and they just came in it and it was cheaper. But you know, they're very pretty. This was a surprise for me. Took me by surprise. This is the 3 colored mascara, so the Dark Star mascara in Color Blitz. So she's got Aquamarine Dream, Ultraviolet Blue, and Pink Mystique. Look, I am very basic. This is not something I would use. It is not something I need. I do get why she's releasing these. I think with like the euphoria trends and all that kind of stuff, it makes sense. Maybe for the kids on the TikTok, you know, but not for me. But I think it's cool. I like that she's doing something different and creative. Like that's who Pat is, right? Like her brand is like creative and inspiring and different. And so it's cool to see she's just doing whatever the hell she wants. So I think it's cool. It's just, it's not for me. And then she's re-releasing the legendary like kohl eyeliner. I guess because Bridgerton's and limited edition collections, right? So maybe she's phasing them out and then she wanted to keep the eyeliner in the collection. Again, if I was to pick that up, it would just be because it was in a bundle and it was cheaper and I was just like, oh, whatever. But I wouldn't go out of my way to pick up that eyeliner just because I wouldn't use it. And then she's got these little lip kits, which look actually adorable. So mini Nude Venus lip trio. So a Nude Venus lipstick, gloss, and lip pencil. Actually, I would rather pick that up than the actual like full size because that looks beautiful. And then mini Divinal lip duo, which is Nude Venus and Temptress. Yeah, I would rather pick those up. They look like one of those up. They look beautiful. I want them. I want the gloss and the lip liner and the lipstick. So I'll probably pick that up too instead of the bullets. We'll see how we go. So that is the collection. I think she's done a really good job. What do you guys think? What were you hoping for? I don't know what I was hoping for, to be honest with you. Actually, no, I was secretly hoping she was gonna do a couple of like special shade quads. I really was hoping for some special shade quads, but I am pleasantly surprised. I am pleasantly surprised. So that is all my thoughts on the Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Nirvana holiday collection. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you planning on picking anything up, or are you just gonna sit back and wait for a minute? What's your thoughts? Are there individual pieces that you really like? Whatever it is, you let me know down below in the comment section. If you're watching till this point, by the way, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, pretty please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. It truly helps my channel out. Also, it's crazy. We're almost at 7K. Like, when the hell did that happen? Thank you. Like, truly, you guys, you're all so incredible and so amazing. So thank you so much. Bear with me. I'm like mental at work right now, by the way. So I am so slow in getting back to comments, but trust me, I'm seeing them and I will get back to you. I will, I promise you, but just bear with me. And other than that, I hope that you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye!